or
Mhm.
been like tackled? He was tackled by them?
I don't know. The story I heard, he just like fell into this pile of
Okay,
puppies just surrounding.
just fell into it. You don't think that's a
Yeah,
coincidence?
just rolling around on the ground.
Okay,
Coincidence?
yeah, like maybe it was like planned.
Planned?
Yeah.
Yeah, the CIA planted the puppies there.
So who was Pegasus running against when he actually ran?
I think he was running against the rest of the nominees, the rest of the presidential nominees, or the no, yeah, no,
What?
not the nominees, the
What?
rest of the candidates.
What year was that?
1968.
So
So
that was McCarthy
it
and
would have
Nixon, right?
McCarthy, Nixon, Hubert Humphrey. Was it Hubert Humphrey was the nominee? Ended up being the nominee.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Mm.
It was and no one wanted him.
Mm-hmm.
And Bobby Kennedy was shot before that,
Right.
so couldn't be the nominee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think
Phil,
who do you think would win in the fight, McCarthy or Nixon?
I don't know too much about McCarthy besides that Phil campaigned for him and that he was against the Vietnam War. I think McCarthy probably would have won because he wanted it so bad, wanted the end of the war so bad. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least that's what I'd root for, at least.
Do you think that Pegasus the Immortal tasted good?
Do I think Pegasus the Immortal tastes good? I don't know what actually happened to Pegasus.
Do you think he was?
Like, I don't know. I hope
bet
not.
Nixon ate him.
I think the Yippies kind of just made him
I think
their
that's
mascot.
the rule, is that like if you lose the presidential election and you're not a human candidate, the winner gets to eat you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've read that in the Constitution before.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it applies to humans as well, but it's just kind of customary not to.
Right.
To show the good grace of the transfer of power.
Yeah.
But I was really surprised when Biden said he wasn't going to eat Trump.
Or Bernie Sanders,
Yeah. I'd eat Trump. No, actually, no, that's not kind of gross. I'd eat Bernie. I'd eat Bernie.
You eat Trump?
Yeah.
Would Trump taste like gruel?
Trump would probably taste like gruel. Trump wouldn't be as good as gruel. No. Trump has less nutrition than gruel.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, Chicago, 1968. What did it change?
Everything and nothing.
Can you
I think mostly it kind of turned a mirror onto police brutality and the corruption in our government, but at the same time, it's been 50 years and nothing has changed. So, in fact, it's probably worse. So, everything and nothing. Phil said it was the death of America.
Phil died in Chicago in 1968, right? That's what it says on his album cover.
Yeah, that's my favorite album of all time, Rehearsals for Retirement. He put a tombstone on the cover, and he said he'd always say that he died in Chicago. I think he really lost the idealist part of himself there. And
that was a couple years before his greatest hits tour, right?
Yeah, 68.
Could you explain that, specifically the gold suit?
Yeah, so in 69, I want to say January 69, he got to see Elvis in Vegas, and he was a huge fan of Elvis. He had a collage of Elvis hanging in his house. And Elvis had this gold suit. And the 50 fans can't be wrong came from I think an album cover of Elvis's that was like 50 million fans can't be wrong.
That makes sense.
But he was like, actually. Yeah, but he was like, I think what America needs is for Elvis Presley to become Che Guevara. So he decided to kind of take on that role and he had Nudie Cohn, who made Elvis's gold suit, make him the same gold suit, and and he went on tour, and then he made Greatest Hits, which is a rock and roll country album. It's probably his most
That's a bit of a
blatant
controversial release, didn't it?
little bit controversial. It was, people didn't quite understand it. People really didn't understand the gold suit. And they were like, who are you now? Like, who is this man? Especially when he toured. He didn't have the best reception at Carnegie Hall, and except the second show things kind of improved. Mm-hmm. But that is a wild story that I don't want to divulge too much into, because it's
save the juicy bits.
Yeah, it's juicy. But like, yeah, it was weird, and it was also confusing. It didn't sell very well. A lot of his albums didn't sell very well. But he never had a hit. And a lot of the times people look at a Greatest Hits album, they're like, who the hell is this? And like, I don't recognize any of these songs. Yeah. Like, you see this guy on the cover in a gold suit, and you're like, isn't that folk singer? Like, why is he in a gold suit with an electric guitar? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I love it.
Hey, how many times was Phillips arrested?
I don't know the number. I honestly don't think it was that many times. I know he was first arrested in Florida a couple times when he was a kid.
Yeah.
And I talk about that a little bit on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of like in his FBI file. That was one of the things. It's in his FBI file, and it's like one of the things that they're like, oh, he's dangerous about. But like, I think he was arrested in Chicago during the convention. And then he was arrested in South America.
Mm-hmm.
And
was that part of his trip to Bolivia?
So he didn't actually like go to Bolivia, or that's not where he was arrested. I think he was arrested in Uruguay.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't gotten to that point in my research yet, so I'm not like fully like certain. I'm a little bit more well versed in the earlier parts of his life for now. But I think it was Uruguay or Argentina where he was arrested with his friend David, and the other prisoners were like, if they tell you they're taking you to Bolivia, they're gonna kill you, and you're just gonna be disappeared. Like, yeah, he didn't do anything. Yeah. He was also arrested for drunk driving in the early 70s.
You mean apple juice driving?
Apple juice driving, yeah. Yeah, sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah. And probably a few times toward the end of